Welcome back to Testing Differently here. So, I just wanted to do a couple of little food reviews. Obviously, I've had my pepperoni, okay, so I'm good on that end. We're gonna have ooh, I don't know, apple and mango. Apple and mango, really nice. We'll have that one second. We'll drink that one. No, we'll have the apple and mango now, just because I'm actually quite thirsty. I've gone a couple of days without food and drink now, so probably best to get this shit down me. This is actually Tesco's own brand apple and mango juice from concentrate, 100% pure juice. Good morning, Wanzel. Much appreciated for you to turn up. So obviously, I wanted to do a couple of food reviews. One of which is going to be the John West, being eaten by John Weston. Right, and it's the on-the-go light Italian tuna pasta salad. Looks really nice. Sounds really sloppy though, not gonna lie. We also have this, if you know what language this is, please someone tell me, okay, in the comments. It looks like a Polish pate. Looks really nice. That is a good one. Do you know, I'm going to be honest, everyone. Apple and mango, a great combination. So that's finished. So I have noticed recently with a Pacific YouTuber, we all know his name. His name's Larry, the Batman fan. I do feel like Larry is being very childish. I have had to cut ties with the idiot yet again, for obvious reasons. Like, what Larry doesn't seem to understand, people, okay, and I know a lot of you are going to get on my case, so, why are you talking about this idiot again? Well, guess what? I am going to talk about him, because nobody gets to tell me what to do on my channel. So, do you know what, yeah, I think Larry just needs to learn to grow up a little bit, you know, and just learn, yeah, that not everyone is the way he is, not everyone's going to want to be like that. I would definitely say that Larry has a few problems. One of those problems, unfortunately, is the fact that... What am I on with, Mush? Bloody hell, tell you're from Yorkshire. Am I correct, Harry? From Yorkshire, ain't you? I know that saying. Oh, sorry, Crab, but that comment's not getting fucking brought up. All right. Well, it's great to see someone here from Yorkshire. Welcome. So, I don't know whether many of you know this specific YouTuber, Larry the Batman fan. Okay, now if you go and take a look at my other channel, all right, Larry the Batman Fan Haters Club, which I am fully taking responsibility for. All right, there are audio recordings of... I'm actually in the UK, Scotland. And as you can tell, today is a really bright sunny day. It's actually quite warm. But obviously I wanted to do a couple of little food reviews along with this chat because Larry the Batman fan has been one of the biggest pains the arse, biggest pain in the arse I've ever fucking known. When I was in contact with this guy before anything of the paedophilia came about, you know, big up Yorkshire. Been there a few times. Lovely, absolutely lovely. So, when me and Larry were in contact with each other, he would always send me instrumental raps, a cappella style, no music behind them whatsoever. His rhymes wouldn't, they're not catching, you know what I mean? They're just not rolling off the tongue. He'd always send me them, and then he'd always send me information about his videos when I can just go onto his videos and look them up myself. Like, really? Like, this Larry the Batman fan thought that he was something special. I have threatened him a couple of times, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I would say that Larry has been more than a pain in the arse because, oh, what was that, Wanzel? I'll take a look at that comment in a sec, alright? So, yeah, I believe that Larry has just got a few problems. Obviously, he is adopted, you know. His parents gave him and his brother up, I believe. And, you know, Larry just needs to learn that not everyone's going to have the same opinion as him. If you watch R-rated movies or you play N-rated video games, you will have a problem with Larry because Larry does not like people that watch R-rated movies or play M-rated video games. He believes that they're demonic. He is a fake Christian, and seeing as he will never probably see this video, I can say what the fuck I want. I couldn't give a shit what he thinks about me anyway. Why should I care? Noyan, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to translate that into English, please, as I don't have a translator up on here. Alright, so please put that in English, alright, because otherwise I won't understand a bloody word. Not being funny, okay, but please translate it for me. So, I wanted to go through a couple of little things today. Mate, want to elaborate on that? Wanzel. I now have a moderator in the panel, in the actual chat, people. Okay, so please. So if you wake up your wife and say, me, married. I've been married twice, mate. I've buried 5 of my own children. Never again. Never again. I'm happy being single. I'm happy going out in the town, having a few drinks, getting laid. You know, bit of a party lad. Stop the boats, mate. That's racist. Sorry, I won't put up with that. Sorry, but we're not having you here. Right, get off. If you're going to be racist, people, yeah, get the fuck off my channel. All right. This is meant to be a safe place and friendly place, okay, for people to be here. What do I do? So, I do a variety of different things. If you're on about work, I don't actually work anymore. I was in the military for 8.5 years. I served over in Afghanistan. Counter-terrorism. I'm not allowed to give you any more information other than that. I've done a lot of other different lines of work. I've worked as a head chef in a kitchen. I have done builder work, scaffolding work, ground work. I've done car maintenance, motorcycle maintenance. I even worked on a bungee jump, and that was actually quite terrifying, I will admit. Working on a bungee jump around loads of people can be quite daunting, especially if something goes wrong, it can be your fault. Um, there's a lot of little bits of work that I have done over the years, and I would say that throughout my life, I have had a lot of really good experiences, but I've also had a lot of really bad experiences. You know, I've been jumped by a Pacific gang in London before, just for my wallet. I was carrying at least £5,000, and I went into a shop. There was a couple of lads in there terrorising the shop owner, and because I was on leave from the army, I decided to take matters into my own hands and said, look, lads, you need to leave. Okay, you're pestering this guy. It's not on. Okay, get out. Pay for your shit. Get out. Yeah. They proceeded to pull knives, on which I took one knife off of one kid, stabbed him in the back of the leg, and told the rest of them straight, if you don't get out, you're all going to drop. Look, I'm not a big man. I don't claim to be big. I don't claim to be perfect. But you know what? When it's a matter of life and death, you have to take matters into your own hands before the police get there, and you have to do the right thing and protect society in any way you know how. Because life isn't what you think it is anymore. You know, I mean, look at me. Yeah, bad teeth. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Lovely place here in Scotland, really is. Give me 1 second. That's going on. Just sorry, people just had to turn the VPN on. No, there was no news. No news about the scuffle. All right, like it was literally just another day in London. You know, not everything gets reported in London. The police did turn up. Only one person was arrested. The others managed to get away. They decided to back off and go, do you know what? No, we can't be arsed with this. We're going to get hurt. They fucked off. The one guy that did pull a knife on me, that I stabbed, he ended up on the floor. He was arrested with robbery to intent, and he was also arrested, what was it? Bloody hell. We're talking a little while ago now. I think it was attempted actual bodily harm, also carrying with intent, possession of a pointed bladed article with intent to endanger life. He was sentenced to around about 5.5 years. But nowadays, you know, I try to keep myself out of trouble. I don't specifically like to get myself into a bother nowadays, just because. I don't actually know the guy's name, to be fair with you. I didn't want to take notes of the man's name. It wasn't any of my business. What was my business is that he was pestering a elderly shopkeeper with 3 of his mates. And there was me standing in uniform. That. How do I know his sentence? That's my business. To be honest with you, that's my business. You know what I mean? I was kept up to date with everything, just because of my role in the military. I informed my commanding officer about the incident as well, and he was the one who gave me my information. So, yes, the whole incident was dealt with correctly. Karim, if you're actually from London and you're trying to find out who got fucked over, don't bother. Yeah, there's probably not anyone you know. That person has recently come out of prison, and he did another sentence. I think it was about a year-long sentence for something else that he did. He got released from prison after those 5 years, did something else to someone else, and went back for about a year. Um, yeah, just a complete and utter idiot. So, look, there's a lot about this life that we don't really understand, and one of those things is bullying. You know, I would say that in life you have to understand that not everything is going to be perfect. Not everything is going to go your way. And if you think everything is going to go your way, then you are a complete and utter idiot. Nothing will ever go the way you want it to go. Nothing will ever be the way you want it to be. People will never be how you wish them to be because they are their own person. Yes, they have a right to choose what they wish to do with their life. But if that means that that person you're testing the legitimacy of my story, mate, it's not up to me. Yeah, look, I'll tell you what, let me rephrase it, okay? It's not your job to determine whether or not I'm telling you the truth or a lie. If you don't believe me, then leave. It's as simple as, bro. It's up to you. If you want to sit here and you want to enjoy my channel and you want to have a chat and you want to be my #2 fan, yeah, I don't ask you to believe me. Then fair play. Fair play to you. Fair play. Like, look, I don't ask people to believe me. I don't ask people to like me. All I ask for is people to just sit, chill, listen. If you want to believe it, you believe it. If you don't, you don't. Well, thank you very much. Honestly, I do appreciate it. So, going back to the Larry, the Batman fan situation, he's got a couple of kiss asses that don't believe he's a paedophile. So Larry has admitted through voice on my Larry the Batman Fan Haters channel that he is a paedophile. Okay. He also dated and had sex with a 15-year-old girl when he was 18. We've called him out a couple of times on this crap, and to say that this man he's saying, I believe in God, I'm righteous, I follow the Bible. Like, fuck off. Larry the Batman Fan does not follow the Bible. He follows what's known as Larry's Law. And if people disagree with him at any point, all right, he decides to go against them in a video. So people, if you want to do a who sent what, I will show you a comment. Am I a religious man? So I am Viking belief. I'm an Odinist. If you're thinking that means pagan, then yes, I am. I'm a Viking pagan. I believe in the old ways. So just common sense. There is one specific part of my belief that really stands out, I've noticed, and that is the ability to pray to a god or a goddess, to not ask them to mend my life, but ask them to just watch over me, just to see how I'm getting on. All right. And I've noticed that by doing that and following the little rituals that we have, okay, that a lot of people have taken it upon themselves to think, oh, well, you know, like Vikingism isn't a registered belief. No, Vikingism is not a registered faith or belief. It's not. It's very, like, on the low. We'll say that. It's few and far between. There's not many of us left. You know, on the back of my hand here, I have the words "Hail Odin" tattooed on my wrist. On my back of my hand, I have the word Odin, and then I have my personality in Viking runes. Obviously, the LP is for, I don't know whether you can see that. The LP is for Linkin Park. I will say, people, right, that doing live streams actually takes my mind off of all the other things that are happening in my life. There's a lot of people out there. Yes, I do. Yes. So, a few years ago, I was married with twins. My wife and my 2 children, along with her parents, died in a car crash. And I was Christian at the time. And I prayed to God, asking him why. Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to my kids? Why did this happen to my wife and her family? And I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, asking for some type of sign. If he was real, why would he not just give me a sign to show me that they're in a better place? Throughout all the time that I was a Christian, I prayed religiously every morning, every night time. Every Sunday I'd go to church. Every Monday I'd go to church. Every Wednesday I would go to church. I would donate money to the church as well. And I never got a response. Never. Alright, Wanzel, you have a lovely day, bro. Take care, man. Give me a call when you get off work, yeah? You know, like, God never gave me a sign to prove to me that he was real. Obviously, I understand that, you know, no god or goddess or entity could answer all the prayers in the world, you know, because if he did, this world would be fucking stupid. You know, everyone, yes, they have. So, let me talk a bit more about my experience. Let me brighten my screen a bit so I can see what is going on. So, when I became Viking, I was taught about this by my younger brother, Simon. Okay, I'm not going to say anything other than his first name. So, my younger brother Simon knew that I was Christian. He didn't like that fact, and then he found out about my wife and my children, her family, being killed. And he said to me, he said, look, he said, I'm not being funny. He said, but you're following a God that gave you free will, but yet wants you to follow all these bullshit rules. He's never given you a sign. Like, you've got nothing to lose by trying. Would you like to try my belief? I said, what's yours? And he said, I'm an Odinist. I went, an Odinist? What do you mean by that? He said, I believe in the Viking gods and goddesses. And he sat down with me, taught me a lot about it. And the more I started to learn, the more I started to realize that the Nordic gods and goddesses actually make more sense. There's no rules or regulations, you know, it's just common sense. You know, the Viking gods and goddesses don't give you free will, but they allow you to live your life the way you want. So they didn't create anything, okay? They are literally just a part of nature. And I feel like anytime I pray to Odin, Freya, Thor, Loki, Mjolnir, Kassin, or anyone else, even Helgen, yeah, I sorry, the Father God. Not, yes and no. So, in my mind and in my belief, God does not have the right to intervene in your life. They survive on prayers. They are immortal. They do not have a right to come into your life and help you do things that you need to do for yourself. It's a very different type of belief. If you wish to look it up, please feel free. All right. It'd be absolutely brilliant to speak to people about this. If you wish to look it up, do so. I will be getting some documents printed out, okay, from the library at some point, so I can get all information to show all of my viewers here, right, exactly what my belief is about, the 9 noble virtues and everything else. All right, but we're going to save that for an actual proper Viking live stream, okay, on which I will be wearing a traditional Viking outfit. All right, I will also be buying myself so the sign of the Nordic gods have given me, okay, so usually it'd be a raven, okay, just please listen, right, so usually it would be a raven that would be a sign of the gods, because there are virtually no ravens in the whole of the UK, apart from the Tower of London, very rare to see. So I was walking down the road one day with my little brother Simon. Han, I've lost my mind. Mate, keep your mouth shut. All right, sit there, listen. Don't be rude or I'll block you from the channel. Okay, simple as. So, careful, Slim. All right, because I will just chuck you off. All right, I don't fuck around. This is my live stream. Be respectful. So, I was walking down the road with my little brother at one point, and I had no money. I was out on the streets. Too aggressive for your liking. But do you know what it is, lads? Yeah? If I'm seeing comments like, oh, you've lost your mind, then I take it as an insult. Okay? I didn't fight for my country for 8.5 years to be insulted by people on the internet. Yeah? I do these live streams to give people a bit of knowledge and a bit of insight into my life and who I am and what I'm about. Okay, now if I'm going to see comments like that, then I am going to say something, you know, because I feel it as an insult. So it's up to you how you want to see me. You know what I mean? I don't ask you to like me. I don't ask you to sit there and watch. My belief system is ludicrous. What belief are you then? Come on, what belief are you? You think my belief system is ludicrous? What's your belief then? Come on, Karim. Let me guess. Muslim? Hindu? Christian? Witchcraft? Wizardry? What? What is your belief? Come on. You want a debate? Let's have this debate. You're Muslim. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, but you believe Jesus is not a prophet, but what's the word I'm looking for? a disciple, basically. So Jesus wasn't the big almighty, he was just someone ordinary that lived around that time that would follow that belief, yeah? Oh, okay, so he's not a prophet. Cool. Right. So what would you class Jesus as? And then I'll tell you exactly what I found out in the National Archives. I've also been to the Vatican, by the way. There's many things in the catacombs. Many things in the catacombs. Oh, so he is a prophet. Okay. So, mate, we're not arguing about it. Yeah, we're literally just having a debate. All right. Please continue, Groom. Do you know what, Karim? I'm going to say this, yeah? Now, what you believe in is your choice, okay? What I believe in is my choice. The brain needs something to cling on to after death, otherwise there will be blackness. Nothing, no sound, no light, no sweet air across your cheeks, no food to eat, no happiness, no nothing, okay? What you believe in is your choice, okay? I'm not going to say that you're in the right, and I'm not going to say you're in the wrong. I'm not going to say that my belief is correct, but I'm also not going to say that it is incorrect, okay? Nobody knows the truth, okay? No matter what you say to me, you will never convince me, okay? You try and find me some evidence, yeah, that one belief is truth, because there is no truth. Everything we get taught on a daily basis is all bollocks, okay? So, when I was in the National Archives in Greenwich, okay, on the outskirts of London, I come across an old stone tablet that was written in Hebrew Egyptian, okay? The guy standing next to me, he was an archaeologist, he translated it, okay? And on that stone tablet, it said, "My name is Jaduus Christus. I am going to be crucified in a certain year for believing in something that my father does not believe in. Please do not follow my ways." Look, it's up to you. You believe in what you want to believe in. You are still a man at the end of the day. No God has the right to intervene in your life and mend your life for you. You have to mend your life yourself. This life isn't about, oh, well, I'm like this at the moment. I'm crushed on the inside. I'm crushed on the outside. My life is shit. But look at this person. They're full of everything. They've got all of it. They've got the shininess. They're full of gas. Like they're loving life. Yeah. But me, I'm crushed. Why? Why am I crushed? Why has this person got a better life? Yeah. No God has the right to come into your life and go, there you are. There's a second lease of life. No God has the right to do that. Look, at the end of the day, you are who you are. Yeah. Bro, you can't say that on my live stream. Like, if you're gonna say yeah, like, then stop to everyone. Yeah, like, I would respectfully ask that you don't tell people what to do on my live stream. Okay, like, you know Karim. Well, okay. Well, if you know Karim, yeah, then please get him to understand, yeah, that not every belief is gonna be the same. You don't have to agree on belief. You know, belief is about what's in here, not up here. Belief is here. Yeah? Belief is here. Belief isn't here. It isn't out there. It isn't even in that. Belief is something that you choose. It is not forced upon you. know. I chose to believe to be Viking. Mate, I'm high. If I was high, I'd be smoking bud. Alright? I don't actually have any weed. Does it look like I'm going to get high off of cigarettes? Seriously, Karim? Come on, man. Grow up a little bit, bro. I don't know how old you are, but you're definitely not acting your age, bro. Do you know what, Karim? I'm going to find that comment offensive, do you know what I mean? And I'm going to put you in a timeout for the next 10 minutes. Just because you've mentioned that comment. Jump off the crack pipe soon, son. You have no idea what my life has been about, sunshine. I fought in Afghanistan to protect my country. I fought against people to save people like you from being destroyed, from being thrown out of this country. And you want to sit there and disrespect me like that? I didn't fight for people like you. I fought in this world against people, against tyranny, against fucking idiots, yeah, that want to control other people. So do you know what? You can sit there. You can be in the timeout. And you can think about what you've said. How do you think I should stop ranting? Do you know what? You're getting thrown off. You're going to get put on a timeout as well then. Like, think about what you lads are doing. Do you know what? Like, Benny, you've been put on a 5-minute timeout, so you're not as bad as Karim, okay? Like, I'm not going to stop ranting, okay? Because I'm finding you lot offensive. I have a right to speak my mind on my live stream. If you don't like it, fuck off. Simple as. You don't have to sit here and listen to me. You don't have to sit here and watch me. Okay? I didn't ask for you not to come on my live stream and say all this crap. Yeah? Or try telling people what to do. You've got no jurisdiction on my live stream whatsoever. So, after you've both been on a timeout, okay? If I see any more comments, I'm going to hide you from the channel. I'm going to block you. Okay? I want you to both sit there and think. You're not always going to be in the right. You have your opinions. And your opinions are yours. My opinions are mine. Okay? I tell people what I've experienced. How I've lived my life. Okay? Pardon me. Now, if you lads want to sit there, I mean, it was Karim that started the religion debate, not me. He started that. What, because he's Muslim? Come on. Also, because you're Muslim, you think you've got the right to judge other people's belief because you think you're in the right. No. It's not about whether your belief is correct or whether it's incorrect. Yeah? It's what you believe in. You believe in what you want to believe in, I'll believe in what I want to believe in. Simple as. And as regards to the crack pipe comment, all my broken teeth are a result of fighting, yeah? And eating too many sugary foods, okay? Yes, I've smoked weed in the past. Yes, I've snorted cocaine. Yes, I've taken ecstasy pills. I've tried shrooms. I've tried lots of different drugs, okay? But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that you didn't say that comment. Because at the end of the day, you did wrong. And that's why I put you in a timeout. Because you did wrong. You insulted me. So I want you to sit there and think about what you said. And the other guy, Bring Peas, yeah, I want you to sit there and think about you trying to tell me what to do in my live stream. I find that offensive. I'm doing my live stream to give people the opportunity to understand the way I am. To sit, to listen, to learn, even. And you want to sit there and tell me that I can't do something on my live stream? Come on. Like, that's not adult behavior, bro. You don't have a right to tell me what to do. Same as I don't have a right to tell you what to do. But because you're on my live stream, yeah, I will put you in a timeout anytime you're offensive. YouTube has strict policies and guidelines, which I have to abide by. Now, if I feel as though someone's being offensive, I'm gonna mute them. I'm gonna make sure that that person knows that they've insulted me, as I have a right to. It's like if I was on your live stream, yeah, and I told people in your live stream, or I told you in your live stream, oh, you should stop talking about this, you should stop ranting, blah, 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 blah. You wouldn't like it. So why am I going to like it? Why am I going to suffer that? Like, seriously, lads, what is your problem? Like, what, you got a problem with my belief? You got a problem with who I am? But you know what? I don't care. I don't ask you to like me. I don't live for your acknowledgement. I don't live for your appreciation. I don't need to be acknowledged by anyone. I could lose all of my fans and delete my YouTube channel happily. Happily. But I thought, no. It's time to give people the opportunity to hear what my life's been about. What I'm about. If you don't want to hear it, then it's up to you. Okay? All I'm doing is giving you the opportunity to listen. Maybe learn a little bit. Yeah? Corinne, you started the religious debate. Okay? All I did was continue it. Okay? So I'll tell you what. Let's start fresh on this. Okay? No religious debates. Okay? And no telling me what to do in my live stream. Fair? I think that's valid. You lads be respectful to me, and I'll be respectful to you. I won't put you in a timeout anymore, alright? And we'll just have a normal conversation. If you want to sit there and you want to watch my live stream, please be respectful, alright? That's all I ask, is that you be respectful. One, you don't try telling me what to do at my live stream, and two, don't be a cock. Come on. You're going to say about a crack pipe to me? What, when I lost my older brother to a heroin needle and a crack pipe? Seriously? See, that's just the thing. You don't know what I've gone through in my life. I had an older brother who died from a heroin overdose while smoking a crack pipe. He smoked a crack pipe, yeah, couldn't handle it, passed clean out, and someone stuck a heroin needle in his arm and killed him. So, yeah. If you want to mention comments like that, feel free, but you can leave, okay? So, going on to what I was actually planning to do with this live stream before I started, okay? We have a couple of little food things here that we are going to review, okay? We did start out by wanting to do a food review, alright? There's a couple of bits here that I won't be able to do at the moment, just because I need to rewire my kettle, right? Because I had to use the kettle wire to sort out my vacuum cleaner. So we will be sorting out the kettle later on today. In the meantime, we have a John West on the go light Italian pasta tuna salad. Sounds really messy. Not gonna lie, it does sound like really sloppy, watery crap. We also have a pate, I believe it's Polish. If you know that it's Polish or whatever, please leave a comment after it's been uploaded. We also have these biscuits, mint biscuits, Viscount, or whatever you want to call them. Original wagon wheels. We have some strawberry chewits. I did manage to get hold of some really nice hot chocolate. You just add hot water, but obviously I like to add a little bit of milk into mine. So yeah, we got these hot chocolates. Really nice indeed. We do have a very fast mashed potato pot here. This is the mashed potatoes with butter and herbs. Meant to be really good. Meant to be. We've also got a mug shot, roast chicken pasta. We've got some chicken savory noodles, ramen, Mediterranean inspired couscous. What else? Ambrosia chocolate flavored Devon custard. You know, like, I try to eat a little bit healthy nowadays, just because, you know, I'm starting to get a bit of a stomach, you know. I am going into arm wrestling soon, people. Okay, I have won a couple of matches, amateur matches already. I may not look like much, but throughout my skinny exterior, there is a lot of power behind me. Alright, a lot of technique. You know, arm wrestling is all about tactics, it's not about power. You know, a lot of people like to sit there and go, boom. No. If you can catch your opponent at that angle and hold that for a good couple of minutes, you can then bend the wrist down, over, backwards, very slowly bring the arm down. So people, I'm actually going to do this food review really quickly on this pasta, okay, and then we're going to end the live stream. Alright, looks like Corinne and the other guy just buggered off, right, probably because they don't want to sit there and listen. Right, they don't want to be polite. So Corinne and the other guy, whatever your fucking name is, alright, like, think about what you've done, please, okay, like, I didn't want to put you in a timeout, but you pushed my hand a little bit too far there, right, and you have forced me to put you in a timeout, okay, so that's entirely your decision, alright, we are going to open this pasta, we're going to smoke our cigarette first. We are actually watching some Family Guy, but we're going to switch back over to YouTube, just because I feel like listening to music. And I am more of a heavy metal fan, so I might end up playing some traditional Viking music, I don't know yet. I also watch JSTU Studios and JSTU. Some of their videos have actually been quite good recently, I will state that. You know, like, there's a lot of things in this world that we can all come to terms with. You know, like, people in this life don't seem to want to understand that when you do something wrong to someone, yeah, that person is going to retaliate. Depending on what that person is like. I mean, really, I should have gone mad. But no, I decided to put people in a timeout instead, and it's a better option, I feel. Yes, one of them got put in a 5-minute timeout, the other one got put in a 10-minute timeout, but it's because of the way they were. Alright, so to those two people, right, if you wish to be back in here after you've been in the timeout, please just be respectful, that's all I ask. Okay. So, I am going to watch a little bit of YouTube, smoke my cigarette, open up this pasta and review this. And this is again, the John West on the go light Italian tuna pasta salad. I also watched the YouTuber Best Ever Food Review Show. Absolutely brilliant guy. Really is. Honestly, you should check him out. Go and subscribe to him. Okay, he is amazing. Goes to all these different countries, tries all these foods. You know, like, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Welcome back to the Two Viewers. If they are who I'm thinking they are, then you know the rules. Now, there are going to be rules on this live stream from now on, and I don't care. If you like to subscribe, thank you very much. Do appreciate it. So, now we stopped upside down. Now we're going to try this pasta. Okay, and obviously this, like I've said, is that. Now we're going to open it, we're going to try it. And I'm only going to open it a little bit. Wow. It does kind of smell a little bit. Obviously it is, so it has left some really bad residue on the lid. I'm not gonna lie about that, that is bad. It looks fairly healthy. It says that it's less than 220 calories. I do not believe that whatsoever. Where's the fork? So we are gonna try this. This is what it looks like. Okay. We're gonna mash this down, mix it up a bit. It definitely has some liquid in it. So we're gonna grab a little bit of each down the hatch. Pasta, definitely way too soggy. Very much of a tangy taste. I would say that if you're a health nut, like, you're gonna like it if you like tuna. Yeah, very unusual flavor. Very unusual. As a pasta salad, tuna pasta salad, I would say that it's very, I wouldn't say it was very light, like what it says on here. It does say a light Italian pasta. I wouldn't say it was that light. I would say it was a medium light, medium heavy. Very unusual flavour. Pleasant, but unusual. Very tangy, very, very tunery. Anyway, we're going to end this live stream. We're going to let it load. And we will be back later on today with another live stream. So, like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, peace!